I have hit the record button.
Check. Microphone.
Microphone.
Check.
Check.
Hello.
Hey.
And welcome.
We're back. It's only been two weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Maybe more. No, it's been 3.
Has it been 3?
I think so, because one week was my fault and the other you were busy.
Oh, right. I guess this is the 3rd week.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yes.
Well, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome.
We're on the last president. Just kidding.
Yeah. We're actually on the 27th, which is this is where they start getting interesting in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not this guy wasn't so interesting, but he there. Okay, well, first let me on the surface level give you some descriptions. This president was the largest president.
As in he was tall?
And wide. I think they said he was 5'11", and he weighed like 350 pounds at the beginning of his presidency. But one thing that kind of plays off of what you've said before of how they go gray and stuff over their presidency.
Yeah.
Guess how much weight he lost when he was president.
Like 100 pounds?
Yep, exactly.
Did I win? I just bet $1. This was Price is Right, and I just said $1 and I won.
Yeah, you get. What happens in Price and Right if you get it right on the money? Do you?
It depends. Usually, when you're guessing, you're trying to get into the showcase when you're at the podium.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You might get a bonus $1,000 if you guess it right on. I think, but usually, you guess $1 if you think everybody else is overbid because
Right.
you have to get the closest without going over.
Right. Do you know?
Or you can be a dick and like if someone guesses $300, you can say $301, and then they have to the price has to be $300 or they don't get anything.
All right. Do you want to hear a fun fact? This might dox me, but it probably won't. My grandma went on the show once, and she went up. She got called up, but she didn't get on stage.
It's tough.
Yeah. She didn't know about the dollar trick.
Yep. There's some good. I mean, you have to be lucky too because it's almost best to go last.
Mm-hmm.
Going first, you're kind of at a disadvantage because then everyone
Right.
else can base their price off of you, and then, or at least going last, you can kind of pick. Though I guess maybe middle is probably the best because you could get stuck in a situation where someone's guessed the wrong thing. Anyways, this isn't about presidents. What's this president's name?
His name is William Howard Taft. And also, another fun fact about him. This is just surface level fun facts. He was the last president to have facial hair.
Whoa.
And everyone since then
Did-
has had shaved faces.
I guess it wasn't like it was banned. It's just that was the fashion.
Yeah, I guess people just don't trust facial hair these days.
I trust facial hair.
Do you have a picture of him up on?
I did. I just googled him. He's got a sick mustache.
Yeah, he's got a big curly one. Can you go to Google actually? Or maybe I'll just send it to you.
Is this the golf one?
Golf? Which one? The
There's
photo?
a picture of him playing golf and
Oh yeah, okay. So well, we're not really going. We're going blind in structure, but okay. So that photo actually has a funny story after. So back then, obviously, photos were a rare occasion in 1909. And someone took a candid photo of him golfing, and then Teddy Roosevelt, who's kind of not so much an advisor, but he looked up to him, William Taft looked up to him a lot because he was the last president. Teddy Roosevelt suggested to him not to do any more candid photos because it looked like he wasn't working, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's giving Trump a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cause there's a picture of. Oh, no, I think Trump's playing tennis.
Yeah, with his diaper.
Photo.
He looks like he's wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
There's another fun, cool photo about him too. Type in William Taft phone in Google Images.
It's just him on the phone.
Yeah, but there's a story behind this.
He's so jolly.
Yeah, he's kind of. This is a good Santa Claus episode, because So when he's on the phone, there's a couple pictures of him here on the phone. Because this was he was getting his photos taken for some reason, and on the call is actually him learning that he has become president.
Aw.
So you can see he's smiling.
Yeah, and it's an authentic smile too.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Also, when I Google it, it does give me like a cell phone case with William Taft on the phone on the phone case.
Oh, very cool.
Or you can get a COVID mask of William Taft on the phone.
It's probably on clearance now.
Yeah.
He kind of gives me like an Uncle Vernon vibe a little bit, except for the big mustache.
Yeah. I see it.
Anyways, enough about that. We'll go into his life now. So, he was the 27th president of the United States. He was one of the only presidents to be president, and or not the only president, but only the only people in the world to be president of the United States and the Supreme Court as Chief Justice. So, the Chief Justice, for those who don't know, is like the head honcho of the Supreme Court.
Very cool.
And he was the head justice the Chief Justice after he was president. So I forget what president. I think it might have been Coolidge. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So Calvin.
Did you say he was like at the time the first one, or still to this day the only one?
Still to the day, the only person who was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the president. So when eventually after his presidency was over, which we will get to eventually, but William Taft was approached by Calvin Coolidge, and the president Calvin Coolidge, and he asked if he would be on the on the Supreme Court. And he said only if I'm Chief Justice, and it seemed to line up. So
power move.
Yeah. Only if I'm the top dog. So there's actually a picture of him with all the back then it was all men. I don't think the Supreme Court had women until like the 70s.
No, yeah, unfortunately.
And there's one guy sitting right beside him who has the exact same mustache. So must have been his favorite. Yeah.
I feel like did Coolidge? Has Coolidge happened yet?
No. So this was after. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
so
Coolidge okay, wait. Where am I?
So he actually lived for quite a long time after he was president. So it was William Howard. So there's Theodore Roosevelt, then William Howard Taft, then Woodrow Wilson, which was where the war started, and then Warren G. Harding, and then Calvin Coolidge after that.
Calvin Coolidge, I think, and I don't. It could just be the photo. He just creeps me out. Like
he kind of looks like someone I know, but I'm not going to say.
He looks like he keeps his own toenails in like a little case.
Is it the haircut?
I think it's the haircut and just the like emptiness in his eyes.
Yeah, he is looking kind of. He's not looking at the camera. He's like looking.
I do think it's just that one photo, like of his like on the, like when I always have the Wikipedia list open. I think it's just because of that.
I'm sure. Yeah, let's get another picture up here. We're still in black and white photos, though. I'm surprised there's not till a couple more presidents.
Yeah, I think Roosevelt's the first color one.
Yeah, that's Woodrow. No, sorry, was it FDR? No, yeah, FDR.
FDR, sorry.
He kind of still looks creepy to me.
It might be. Here's the other thing too. When people have really thin lips, that also is part of it for me. But that's a me problem.
Yeah, he kind of always has like a Calvin Coolidge. He always has like a permanent grimace, I'd say. Anyways, okay, so William Howard Taft. He was the chosen successor of Teddy Roosevelt. So I don't know if we mentioned it this last week, but Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that he wasn't going to run for president again, but then he kind of was like, "No, I kind of want to now," but I said I wouldn't, so he decided not to, and so he passed on the torch to to William Howard Taft, and Taft was a lawyer, like most presidents. He actually he didn't work on the Supreme Court before, but he worked like as another job for the Supreme Court, I guess. Let's see here. Federal judge, or maybe. Let's see here. So it says he was an Ohio lawyer first, and he passed the Ohio bar. Then after that, he was Solicitor General for the Supreme Court. So I'm not sure what the Solicitor General was. But he was that when he was just a young man. And then after that, he became a federal judge. And then after that, so in 1900, the very beginning of the century, he, under the President McKinley, he was sent to the Philippines to kind of, I guess it was kind of like to create a democratic society there, but it didn't really seem to tap. Like he said that he didn't really think it was possible. Like they weren't ready for self-governance, and he said it would probably take 10 years for them to.
Get it done.
This was kind of like his labor of love for most of his life. Like what he wanted most in the world was to work on the Supreme Court. But while he was in the Philippines, somebody offered, I can't remember who it was, what president. Someone offered him a seat on the court, but he said no. I'd rather finish what I've started in the Philippines.
I mean, that's fun. I mean, that's admirable. Admirable. I can't speak.
Yeah, like I don't think like everything he did there would have held up today, but there was. I don't think he was directly responsible for this, but it says Taft testified before the Senate Committee of the Philippines in regards to alleged offenses of the U.S. Marine Corps against Filipino civilians. He admitted that Marines had committed some offenses, including waterboarding, but denied the existence of the Bells concentration camp.
Take it back. I was more saying like, oh wow, at least he's like, I'm going to stick with the duty I want to do. Didn't realize it involved that.
Yeah, gotta stick with these concentration camps.
Hashtag yikes.
These people aren't going to waterboard themselves. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say for sure. Like, I don't think like, I mean, United States probably still waterboards people, but but I don't think that it holds. I don't think it's
Your
like
FBI
socially
agent, that listens to our calls is currently hovering over the abort button
with the burlap sack and the Dasani water bottle. Okay, so what else did you do? There was like some things here that I did think were like, honorable. It said when McKinley was assassinated, so the guy who appointed him to work in the Philippines was assassinated, as we know, in September 1901, and was succeeded by Teddy Roosevelt. Taft and Roosevelt had first become friends in 1890, while Taft was Solicitor General and Roosevelt was a member of the United States Civil Service Commission. Taft had, after McKinley's election, urged the appointment of Roosevelt as Assistant Secretary of the Navy and watched as Roosevelt became a war hero. So they had met through that, and so I guess Taft kind of like looked up to him because he asked him for a lot of advice when he was running for president.
Like,
and
I would say too, like it felt as though Theodore kind of came in and finally, like I feel like there's been like a run of like, oh, Lincoln did such a great job, but everyone's just trying to live up to it, and like Theodore Roosevelt came in and was like, I'm my own person, and I'm going to do these things.
Yeah, I think. Kind of spoilers here, but they had a close relationship, Teddy and Howard Taft and William, Teddy and Theodore and William, and there was actually a joke someone made here on the Wikipedia page back then. I can't remember who it was, but let me make sure I get the joke right. Okay, yeah, so let's see here. So Roosevelt, frustrated by his own relative inaction, showered Taft with advice. Fearing that the electorate could not electorate could not appreciate Taft's qualities, and that Bryan would win. Bryan was the conservative opponent. Sorry, not conservative, liberal, or he. I'm getting confused actually. What? Yeah, the Democratic opponent was Bryan. So Roosevelt's supporters spread rumors that the president was in fact running Taft's campaign. President Roosevelt. This annoyed Nellie Taft. That's so Nellie. Okay, so Nellie Taft is William Taft's wife.
Okay.
And she did not really like that he was only like socializing with the Supreme Court people, and she wanted him to fraternize or whatever with what fratricide, just make big talk with Washington instead of the Supreme Court.
Right.
So she was kind of not very happy with her relationship with his relationship with Teddy Roosevelt either. So this annoyed Nellie Taft, who never trusted the Roosevelts. Nevertheless, Roosevelt supported the Republican nominee with such enthusiasm, and that humorist suggested Taft stood for "Take advice from Theodore." That was funny.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love
a good alliteration.
So back then, the two different things I'd say was that they were running on was it's kind of the same stuff. So they're both Teddy Roosevelt and Taft were both aligned on we're both aligned. Let me see if I can remember. We're both aligned on tariffs, I think, but there were some things that they disagreed on. Let me see if I can remember. I should have made more notes.
It's hard.
And I don't have my AI. Roosevelt frustrated. So whatever. So I'll get to it later if I remember. But so eventually, Taft won, kind of riding on the coattails of Roosevelt, and then it is quoted by longtime White House usher Ike Hoover that Taft often came to see Roosevelt during the campaign, but seldom between election and inauguration day. So they kind of stopped talking to each other once he became president. And obviously, Teddy Roosevelt went on his year-long hunting trip in Africa, so he was kind of off the grid, so to speak. So he once he got elected, they kind of lost touch, and eventually when he came back to society, Teddy Roosevelt said that he was kind of disappointed in Taft as president, just which we'll get to later, but so they kind of had
falling out.
Yeah, and when Teddy died, they kind of right before then, a couple months before, they kind of had a bit of a making up, but not quite. So Taft, I remember saying it would be a great disappointment to me if he still held ill feelings towards me before he died. So little bromance, little drama.
And ending in sadness.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, maybe I guess they kind of got back together, I guess.
Yeah, the band got back together. And they played the hits one last time, maybe, and then that was it. Okay, so as soon as he was president, his wife, Nellie Taft had a stroke, and it paralyzed her in one arm and leg, and she was unable to speak. So he had to teach her how to speak again, which apparently took a year, which is ridiculous. Can you imagine? Not forgetting how to speak.
I mean, the brain's a wild thing.
Yeah. So that's all that Wikipedia has to say about that. I'm not sure if she could walk again, or
Well, yeah, if you have the right. I mean, I don't know what medicine was like back then, right? But if you have the right rehabilitation, you can get back to somewhat of a normal existence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm no doctor.
Neither am I, and I'm especially not a doctor in the 1900s.
Jesus.
They think they use leeches.
Don't call
back
me.
then. Yeah. Okay, so foreign policy. So these are things that. So he was like, I guess because just of his history with working in the Philippines, he was like big on putting his nose in other countries' businesses. So like he was big on he didn't really care about the European Union. No, sorry, not the Union, but just Europe. I don't think the Union existed back then, but just the Europeans he didn't seem to care much about. He was very interested in China and East Asia. He was very big on just like countries with that kind of or within the area of that the Monroe Doctrine takes place, like what countries, for example? It was like Central America, the Caribbean, and Panama Canal. So obviously, like Spain, I think was still kind of had some toes in some of these countries, and some were fighting for independence, some were just trying to like get them to leave, I guess. But I'm not really sure I can speak too much on. I didn't really go into it too much.
Right. The political climate of the two countries.
Yeah. One other country that he was the first president to do was go to Mexico. So he was one of the first presidents to go to Mexico and shake hands with the leader there. Back then, who was the leader? Let's see what his name was. Okay, so when Taft entered office, Mexico was increasingly restless under the grip of longtime dictator Porfirio Diaz.
Oh.
Many Mexicans backed his opponent Francisco Madero. There were a number of incidents in which Mexican rebels across the U.S. border crossed the U.S. border to obtain horses and weapons. Taft sought to prevent this by ordering the U.S. Army to the border area for maneuvers. Taft told the military aide Archibald Butt. Okay, so this is a staple character.
Butt?
Yeah. I'm glad I remembered him because he's a very interesting guy. He actually I think he worked. Okay, forget what I was saying before. We're now moving on to Archibald Butt.
Okay.
So so Archibald Willingham de Graffenreid Clarrington Butt was born on September 20. That's his name. Let me say it again because it's so much fun. Archibald Willingham de Graffenreid Clarrington Butt.
That's a made-up name. That's an alien that came to Earth and said, I know, this is not going to be my human name, and no one will know I'm an alien.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy is like wild. His life story. So he was an American Army officer and aide to President Theodore Roosevelt. And then when Taft became president, he mostly scrapped most of the office that Teddy Roosevelt had put in place, and this guy was like one of the two people I believe that he had kept. And the other guy, he like moved to a different department.
Right.
So after a few years as a newspaper reporter, this Archibald Butt became the first secretary of the American Embassy of Mexico. So, listen, this guy. He lives a long life, but I think the most interesting part of him is how he died. Guess how he died, and I'll give you a hint of what year it was. 1912.
Oh.
Guess how he died.
The war? Is that what you meant?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. There's a great movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet.
Oh, the Titanic?
What?
The Titanic?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Archibald Butt died. Archibald Willingham de Graffenreid Clarendon Butt died on the Titanic. He went on a 6-week vacation to Europe on March 1st, 1912.
This just confirmed my theory that he's an alien. He got called back to the mothership, and it was covered up by the Titanic sinking.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Yeah. Butt's actions while the ship sank are largely unverified, but many accounts of the sensationalist nature were published by newspapers immediately after the disaster. One account had the ship's captain, Edward J. Smith, telling Butt that the ship was doomed, after which Butt began to act like a ship's officer and serviced the loading and lowering of lifeboats.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, okay, Butt.
Okay, bud.
He just like, beam me up, Scotty. Yeah, so I thought that guy was an interesting case. But anyways, back to Mexico. So, when Taft and Butt were in Mexico, there was actually an assassination attempt, but they didn't actually get to the gun didn't go off because they found. I'm not sure if the assassination attempt was after the dictator Porfirio Diaz, but it could have been after Taft too, because I don't think he had America had the best relationship with Mexico at the time. But 2 citizens were killed and almost a dozen injured, some as a result of gunfire all across the. Okay, sorry, wait, hold on. That actually wasn't what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. Where's the?
Sorry. Also,
yeah. So
you said the gun thing, the Chicago song. They both reached for the gun and started playing in my head.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Okay. Yeah, so the day of the summit, Frederick Russell Burnham and a Texas Ranger captured and disarmed an assassin holding a palm pistol, only a few feet away from the 2 presidents. So I don't know who he was going to. Maybe he was going for both, but we could have had another dead president on our hands.
With a palm pistol? You're crazy.
That's some like Assassin's Creed level shit.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he came up to us in a crowd of priests. And for some reason, an eagle sound could be heard as he jumped off a building.
Into a stack of hay. Okay, so I think that's mostly the most interesting things from his trips abroad, his foreign policy. So for domestic policy, he was most. Oh yeah, so there's this thing called the Ballinger-Pinchon affair, which was not nearly as dramatic as it sounds, but I'll address it. So he was big on antitrust. So I think a lot of Republicans, like, okay, so obviously after Lincoln there was like the Gilded Age where there was a lot of like big industry coming up and like a lot of monopolies perhaps of government. Bribing and stuff like that. So, but eventually it kind of changed where the Republican Party kind of started going after them, which I think is the reason why oh no, sorry, forget what I'm saying. I'm making up as I go. So big steel was a big coal, iron. The railroad companies were all like these were like the tech giants of the time, right? Like these were the big companies that they'd go after for antitrust. So Taft was like very. I think him and Roosevelt had that in common, in that they both were big believers in unions too. So unions and antitrust. I think actually one important thing about Taft is that he was actually behind one of the laws. I think eventually, or it's just something he believed in the right of the people to unionize, but not to do boycotts. For some reason, that was very important to him. So the Ballinger-Pinchon affair. So Roosevelt was a conservationist, and he had appointed two guys named James R. Garfield and Chief Forester Gifford Pinchon. And I guess from what I gather, the point of the whole affair was that he just switched him to a different department. I think choosing. So he just he got rid of Garfield, and then he just moved Pinchon. He replaced him with a guy named Ballinger, and Roosevelt was not happy at him for this. So I think this is where there started to be a little crack in the bromance.
It's hard out here.
I'm not sure. Does that name ring any bells to you?
Pichon sounds familiar, but I don't know if that's just because it's French.
Mm-hmm. Like this is a guy that Roosevelt assigned to the Division of Forestry, which I think was like his darling nature and stuff. So I don't know too much about the guy, but apparently it was a big controversy to switch him out with someone. Like I don't think he fired him, but he just moved him to a different department.
Yeah, but I feel like I could see that being like an underhanded, like, deal in some way.
Yeah, for sure. Like this guy has this thing he's passionate about. Like he's a chief forester. Mm-hmm. And then he just like, what? Let me see if I can find what department. I believe that Taft moves out. I think he like moved him to like, not like something like transportation or not. I don't know what it was for sure, but whatever. But like that's the main point is that's when their beef started growing. So civil rights. Okay, so this is kind of like a bad thing. I think he wasn't. So Taft announced in his inaugural address that he would not appoint African Americans to federal jobs, such as postmaster. And the reason behind this was that he didn't want to cause any drama in the South. So this is another thing that him and Roosevelt kind of disagreed on. So like, he's kind of like Roosevelt was kind of like still hoping for like a Lincoln kind of republicanism, and I think like William Taft kind of had something else in mind. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't. I don't know if like that would. Okay, hey, let me just read this just so I get it right. At the time Taft was inaugurated, the way forward for African Americans was debated by their leaders. Booker T. Washington felt that most blacks should be trained for industrial work, with only a few seeking higher education. W. E. B. Du Bois took a more militant stand for equality. Taft tended towards Washington's approach. According to Coletta, Taft let the African American be kept in his place, quote unquote. He thus failed to see or follow the humanitarian mission historically associated with the Republican Party, with the result that Negroes, both North and South, began to drift towards the Democratic Party. So that's how it could have started.
Yeah.
So
built upon what Lincoln really did.
Yeah, like that's kind of a low blow to not be giving them federal jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Just keeping them down.
So that could be where it all started. That's where the switch happened. So judicial appointments. I didn't actually read this because I always find these really boring. But it probably would have been important to read because he was huge on the Supreme Court. So who knows?
Hey, you know what? This is the life you choose, man. I support everything.
So I'm assuming he was stacking the court to his favor, with the intention of eventually running it.
Sure.
One day. It says Taft appointed 13 judges to the federal courts of appeals and 38 to the United States district courts. So this man liked appointing judges. Okay, so the 2012 presidential campaign election. So that was mostly the meat and bones of the meat and potatoes of his presidency. So now we're getting into when he was tried to run again. Yeah, so Teddy Roosevelt comes back from Africa.
What the fuck,
Big
man?
elephant on his back. Big dead elephant. So, were you saying something?
Oh, I just said, what the heck, man? You ruined the United States. I go on one vacation.
Yeah, I come back with the giant elephant carcass. So he comes back from Africa and he's like, you know what? This guy kind of a loser. This is Teddy Roosevelt speaking as. Kind of a loser. I should run for president again. So basically, they both want to be run for president again, and there's kind of a disagreement, or like this is not the republicanism that we should have had. And so what ends up happening is the Republican Party votes to have William Taft again, and then so Teddy Roosevelt runs as his own party, which I believe he called the, let's see here, he called it the Progressive Party, I think. Progressive, or maybe not. Who knows? Something like that. And what actually ends up happening is that they split the vote, of course, and some people want to have Teddy Roosevelt, and they vote for him. And what ends up happening is that most of the conservatives... here, I'll show you the map, actually, just because it's so...
Jesus. Sorry, I almost dropped my water. It was really scary.
Whoa, careful. Don't drop your water. Okay, so look at this map. Okay, so the red is Taft, so he wins 2 states, Utah and Vermont, and then Roosevelt wins California, Washington, South Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Is that Pennsylvania? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know where you're.
And then all the other states are blue. So Wilson.
And this is just for the
wins.
the party, correct? Or is this
No, this is for the presidential vote.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So like very strong Democratic win there for sure. So that makes the next president, of course, Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
So he's like the first Democratic. He's like the sandwich meat of a 3-layered bread Republican Republican sandwich. So the six presidents surrounding him were all Republican, and he was the only Democrat.
Wild. It would be interesting to know, like, because I can even see in the popular vote, they were kind of equal.
Yeah, like you mean
like Roosevelt and Taft were equal in the popular vote, and Wilson still beat them for that. But I would be curious to know the if those who voted for Wilson, if they couldn't, who would they vote for?
I honestly think if just one of them had run, then they would have won. But like it was just
put aside their differences. Yeah.
If only they had put aside their differences, we wouldn't get whatever mistakes the next guy makes.
Butterfly effect.
maybe we might not even be making this podcast.
The darkest timeline.
Okay, so this guy washed out. He's been beaten.
this guy.
So he returns to Yale. He goes back to law. 100 pounds later, goes back to becoming a lawyer.
Hey, that's what being a president will do to you.
It will eat away your body, gray your hairs, wrinkle your face. So he goes back to Yale. He goes back to being a lawyer. He loves it, living the lawyer's dream. And that's when eventually, a couple years after, a couple presidents down the line, Calvin Coolidge comes a knocking at his door. He says, "William, would you like to be on the Supreme Court?" And he says, "Only if I'm the Chief Justice." And then he says, "All right, I'll see what
balls.
the balls of the Justice Court." And then he says, "Okay, I'll see what I can do." and he shakes a couple things.
All right.
The current Chief Justice was also a Republican, so he was happy to step aside.
For another.
Yep, because he was getting old, and lifetime appointments work that way. So, there's I thought I'd save about 10 minutes just to go over this, because there's a lot of things that I think he like had obviously, like, the Supreme Court shapes a lot of the country. So let me see if I can remember the most. Okay, so one thing that I think was admirable was so it's the way he does it. Actually, it's not admirable, but I think the intention is there. He makes it so that you have to pay a tax to use child labor. So I guess it's
Well,
like
I
it's
guess it reduces a lot of the, like, those who aren't willing to pay for it, I guess.
yeah, like okay, wait, let me get this straight here. So the White Court had in 1918 struck down an attempt by Congress to regulate child labor. Wait, maybe I got this wrong. Congress thereafter attempted to end child labor by imposing a tax. Oh, okay, maybe I got this wrong. Okay, wait, so they wanted child labor. So Congress thereafter attempted to.
Hey.
Okay, maybe this guy wasn't as.
Maybe we should bring it back.
Yeah, let's bring it back. Put him to work.
I think these young kids out there who are playing Fortnite should be working.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be working.
They should be doing our jobs. Yeah. We can play Fortnite.
Yeah. I deserve to be playing Fortnite all day, not you.
We'll just have to pay a tax as well. So
I'm
I guess
fine.
Congress is the one who did the
That's great.
tax on certain corporations using child labor. The law was overturned. Oh, okay, no, sorry. So the law was overturned. I'm flip-flopping like a pancake here. The law was overturned by a Supreme Court in 1922 in Bailey versus Drexel Furniture Company, with Taft writing the court's opinion for an 8-1 majority. He held that the tax was not intended to raise revenue, but rather as an attempt to regulate matters reserved for the states under the 10th Amendment. And that allowed such taxation would eliminate the power of the states. All right, so he's playing some kind of game here that I clearly am not giga-brained.
Son of a bitch.
I'm not galaxy-brained enough to get it, but
That's okay. You're doing great.
thank you. And then there was also... Okay, so a case in which Taft Court struck down regulation that generated dissent from the Chief Justice was Atkins versus Children's Hospital. Congress had decreed a minimum wage for women in the District of Columbia. 5-3 majority for the Supreme Court struck it down. So, not a good thing not a good look, Taft. Striking down a minimum wage for women.
Taft.
Yeah, come on, Taft. Got a little too much wax in that mustache of yours.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Okay, wait, but here what his reasoning was. Justice Sutherland wrote for the majority that the recently ratified 19th Amendment guaranteeing women the vote meant that the sexes were equal when it came to bargaining power over work conditions. Taft, in dissent, deemed this unrealistic. Taft's dissent in Atkins was rare both because he authored few dissents and because it was one of the few times he took an expansive view of the police power of the government. Wait, so I'm having a hard time following. Did that mean he was voting for it or against it? Southern wrote for the majority.
I don't know. You'd have to read it again for me.
Okay, I think it's saying that everyone on the court voted. Okay, let me read it again. In a case with the Taft Court, a case in which the Taft Court struck down regulation that generated a dissent from the Chief Justice, which was him, was Atkins versus Children's Hospital. So Taft was the dissent in this. So Congress had decreed a minimum wage for women in the District of Columbia. 5-3 majority of the Supreme Court struck it down. So Taft didn't want women to have a minimum wage. Justice Sutherland wrote for the majority. Yeah, okay, so Taft was like definitely on the wrong side of this, but
Oh, got it.
but luckily it was a majority, so they still got minimum wage. I see.
Got it.
Okay. Not. He's not my favorite president material. I'm not thinking. A lot of fuck ups.
Hashtag yikes, am I right?
Let's see. What else did he do? There was one thing that was interesting. It was in 1926, Taft wrote for a 6-3 majority in Myers versus United States that Congress could not require the president to get Senate approval before removing an appointee. Taft noted that there is no restriction on the president's power to remove officials in the Constitution. Although Myers involved the removal of the postmaster, Taft, in his opinion, found invalid and repealed the Tenure of Office Act, for violation of which his presidential predecessor, Andrew Johnson, had been impeached, though acquitted by the Senate. Taft valued Myers as his most important opinion. So that's what he thought was the most important, was that that Congress could not require the president to get Senate approval before removing an appointee. I'm not sure appointee to what, though. But that's what he thought was his most important work. Let's see here. What else?
Interesting.
Yeah. Most of this is like boring law stuff.
Don't let a lawyer hear you say that.
I mean, fascinating law jargon.
Legislation.
Oh, here's another banger from the terrible guy. In the 1927 case of Lum versus Rice, Taft wrote for a unanimous court that included Liberals, Holmes, Brandeis, and Stone. The ruling held the exclusion on account of race of a child of Chinese ancestry from a whites-only public school did not violate the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. This allowed states to extend segregation in public schools to Chinese students. So, not great. Not the greatest history. Yeah, for racism. This guy.
Mamma mia.
Yeah. So let me see here. Administration of political influence. I don't know if this is important. So declining health and death. So, Taft is remembered as the heaviest president. He was 5'11". Okay, I said he was 5. I think I said he was 5'9" earlier. Sorry.
No, I think it's 11.
For that.
11.
Yep.
I mean, we got it on record, so.
Yeah. So hey, who needs a fact checker?
When you just record yourself the entire time.
So he had like health issues because he was so large. I think 340 pounds. So
Jesus.
he started as he was getting older. He started walking a lot. In order to, I think he said he walked like. Let's see how it was 3 miles. He walked 3 miles a day, which is pretty big walks.
Crazy.
Yeah. When he walked back, he would usually go by way of Connecticut Avenue and use a particular crossing street over Rock Creek. After his death, the crossing was named the Taft Bridge. So we got a bridge named after him because he walked over it so much.
Wow.
Taft followed a weight loss program and hired the British doctor N.E. York Davies as a dietary advisor. The two men corresponded regularly over 20 years, and Taft kept a full daily record of his weight, food intake, and physical activity.
What's crazy too is, sorry, one of you said the word Atkins at one point.
Did I?
Yeah, it was I can't remember for what context, but it was someone that I think he removed from something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy that this presidency also revolves around losing weight, because there's a thing called the Atkins diet, or it was the Children's Hospital in Atkins.
Maybe could have been
that's
inspired.
An interesting, weird
a little coincidence.
Connection.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how he died. Taft insisted going. Oh yeah. Okay. So Taft insisted on going to Cincinnati to attend the funeral. So at this point, he was kind of he was kind of in a state in decline of his health. But he insisted on going to Cincinnati to attend the funeral of his brother Charles, who died on December 31st, 1929. And the strain did not improve his own health. When the court reconvened, obviously he was still in the Supreme Court at the time. I kind of skipped this part, but at Hoover's inauguration on March 4th, 1929, this guy was on the other side of the aisle from him, so he wanted to see if he could survive. I think this is why he's cared so much about his health. It's because he wanted the Supreme Court Chief Justice to be on the same side of the aisle of him.
Oh.
So that I think this is why he was walking so much. But so like because the Edgar, what's his name, Herbert Hoover, became president, and he could tell he was going to die soon. So he wanted to survive for another 4 years. But however, when the court reconvened on January 6, 1930, Taft had not returned to Washington, and two opinions were delivered by Van Deventer and Taft that had drafted and had been unable to complete because of his illness. Taft went to Asheville, North Carolina for rest, but by the end of January he could barely speak and was hallucinating. Taft was afraid that Stone would be made Chief Justice. He did not resign until he had secured assurances from Hoover that Hughes would be chosen. So this was the guy he wanted to be
President or the Supreme Court
Chief Justice. Yeah.
Chief Justice. Jesus, I know things.
I have to keep looking at the Wikipedia.
I'm saying the correct word in my head. I just can't say it out loud.
Yeah, me too. That applies for everything in this podcast. It's a blanket statement.
Just know I'm saying it correctly on the inside.
Yeah, we're geniuses in our mind. Taft resigned as Chief Justice on February 3rd, 1930, returning to Washington after his resignation. Taft had barely enough physical or emotional strength to sign a reply to a letter of tribute from the 8 associate justices. He died at his home in Washington, D.C. on March 8, 1930, at the age of 72, likely of heart disease, inflammation of the liver, and high blood pressure.
Volunteer as tribute.
Yeah. Yep, so that's his legacy. First president, and that word we forget, the Chief Justice.
Chief Justice.
Yeah. So that's about it. I think that's almost the hour. What are your thoughts?
It feels like a failed attempt at a what's the word when you like mentor someone, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like it feels like I'm gonna pick this person, then like I feel like it's like when you are really good at your job and then you're like, okay, I'm going to train this person up to cover for me for vacation, and then you go on vacation and you just come back to a shit show.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, cool, I'm never trusting you again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like, I don't know, like, he obviously took a lot of advice from Roosevelt, but as soon as he became president, it sounds like that stopped and he just went his own way.
Yeah, or, like, I wonder if the power went to his head at all, where he was like, I'm the president now. I get to make my own decisions, and I'm going to do what I want. Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm trying to remember the name of the Pichon-Grignon affair.
Pichon.
What was it? The Ballinger-Pichon affair. Life comes at you fast. Okay. So, is this guy your favorite?
No.
So last week, in a moment of I might have said that my new favorite was Teddy Roosevelt, but I'm not sure. I'm undecided still. I think I'm still kind of torn between those two, Lincoln and Roosevelt.
Well, I feel like here's the thing. I don't feel like Lincoln should be on the list.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're gonna get to the end and it's just always gonna be Lincoln. But
Well,
I
I
feel
know.
like
I know who my favorite president is.
Oh.
As you,
the saxophone.
the saxophone man. I think.
Yeah, because I feel like he's a little bit in his own category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can have more than one favorite. People
Sure.
have multiple kids, and not one is their favorite.
Yeah, they
so
love
they
them all
say.
equally. Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe we can just kind of go. We can at the end of this all we can just go back and reflect, knowing all that we know. at the
Top
moment.
5. I feel like we can pick a top 5.
Yeah. Oh, also, I should say history views this guy as a mid president, but mid is in like middle. I don't know if
Right.
usually mid's a
Not
bad
not
thing
like in
these
the
days.
the Gen Z slang that this is mid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Like well, I mean, he is mid, that's for sure, but he's also like middle president.
Got it. Before we go, I gotta do the thing. Wait. Historical events from 1909 to...
This is always my favorite part.
Is it?
Yeah.
1913?
Archibald Butt. Okay, so obviously.
Oh yeah, my favorite
Titanic,
president
right?
is Archibald Butt.
Yeah.
My
oh
favorite
god, what's his
alien
name?
president.
I gotta say it one more time. What's the guy's name? So obviously the Titanic sank during this time, but Archibald Willingham de Graffin Reed Clarendon Butt. Never gets old. Okay, go for it.
Okay. I don't have
What
the
you
original
got for
website
me?
I have. So I found a different one though. So 1910, the Boy Scouts of America is founded.
Right, I think we mentioned that last time.
Maybe. I maybe went into 1910 before. 1912, sinking of the Titanic.
Rest in peace,
1913, Ford introduces the assembly line.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Car
I'm getting
in
ahead
every
of
home.
myself. Because
Hey, come on, yeah, wait. That's it? 1913 we're already there?
Yeah. It's skipping
Wow.
a bunch of years. Let me look. Okay. 1910. Nothing really happens. There's a couple acts.
To be honest, nothing much happened in his presidency.
1912, Girl Scouts of USA was started. So we got Boy Scouts and we got Girl Scouts.
The gang's all here.
Yeah, nothing really happened.
Yeah, things were slow back then. There was no
Yeah.
internet.
But I can't even
A
find
boat sank and they made a movie about it.
my original website that I was using. I should really bookmark it. That would be really smart.
Wait, let me see if I can. What happened? Oh, Google, what's up? Google's down.
I'm using Google. Oh no, I'm not. I'm using Firefox.
Okay, I'm going to DuckDuckGo.
There was a story I wanted to tell, but I stopped myself so I wouldn't sidetrack it, and it was something to do with at the start when we were talking about what the frick did we get sidetracked for? It was Donald Trump's diaper. Wow, my brain ain't good no more.
Yeah, me neither. I've seen so many presidents come and go. It does get hard to remember these things, I find. Because it's all just mostly boring stuff. There's some interesting stuff, but...
I always do think about, I don't know if you've ever watched the Ellen DeGeneres episode where she always would bring on, like, kids who were just geniuses.
Yeah.
And there was one kid who knew their, like, thing was presidents. They could name every single
Right.
president, and, like,
A
I
song,
don't
probably.
think if they could, you know, like, tell you what they did, but they definitely had, like, top 10, like, what was their big thing that they did during their presidency.
Right. I wonder what this guy's would have been.
Child labor.
Child labor. Probably, yeah.
Child labor and not paying the women.
Yep. That was even after you stopped being president, so.
Son of a bitch. Oh.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Yep, that's all I got.
We just crossed an hour.
Wow, look at us. Just look at us.
Look at us. Like clockwork. Alrighty, everyone. If you have like and subscribe.
This will
ring
be
the
up
bell.
real soon. Don't worry.
Yep. Don't worry, it'll be up by the time there's another president.
Well, it'll be up in the year will be 2024. It's still 2023 here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, true. Yeah, as if I'm gonna get it up before 2024. There's a backlog. There's a backlog.
All right, I'm running away. Goodbye,
All
everybody.
right, take care. Good night.